This is crazy. 2-time Emmy Award winner Eric Bauza is in the studio.
Oh, well, thanks, guys. I really... Listen, Rabbit, he said Daffy, okay? You're not even in this movie we're promoting today. Nice try. Guys, calm down. I think they hit record. Just relax. Everything's gonna be fine.
Are you at a point where you are... That's amazing. I mean, really, genuinely, that is like...
Oh, hey, thanks.
No, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Are you thinking about what you're saying and doing as you're doing it, or do you just...
Well, the question
flow?
always is, in anyone's position taking on these iconic characters, is what would Mel do? Mel Blanc, of course. We can't start without citing the great Mel Blanc, who was the creator of these, I'm not going to say voices, but these personalities. We're now entering, I think, maybe the 90th year with these characters. We know them like we know our grandparents, really. And Mel Blanc was the one-stop shop for
Bugs Bunny, right? You mentioned Bugs. He's got that nasally buck-toothed Brooklyn Bronx type voice. And then Daffy, which oddly enough, if you're a nerd, like you said, but an even bigger nerd like me,
you'll know that he was actually doing Sylvester's voice. And then they kind of pitched it and sped it up.
So, you know, Sylvester, that big floppy cat with the big red nose, who's always trying to eat Tweety Bird. He was basically doing this.
But changing the acting to either the crazy Daffy that we know or the more prominent greedy Daffy that we know. So, yeah, it's almost like Cartman, how Trey Parker does Cartman's voice. It's kind of like a big, like, sloppy-sounding guy, but then when they pitch it up, it just magically becomes these characters. But
you mentioned Porky. Yes, sometimes they let me stutter for money.
But oddly enough, the longest character I've been with of the Looney Tunes is everyone's favorite Martian Marvin. Isn't that lovely? 15 Earth years with this character. Yeah.
Wow. That's so cool.
My favorite thing about inheriting Bugs Bunny was to bring back the unhinged quality that Mel Blanc brought. Because there's a danger of being too good of a perfectionist when it comes to voices, that you kind of create a box and you can't really act outside that box. Whereas Mel Blanc was just performing Bugs. Like that, was it 8 Ball Bunny? I don't know if that was the name, but he was helping Playboy Penguin get back to the South Pole. And he goes, South Pole? Ooh, I'm dying! You know, it's like that. It's that yell that he used to do all the time that would break kind of Bugs' character and just kind of be Mel. And I think that is the spirit, is like, yeah, if you're daring enough to do that, then people that also loved that growing up will hear it and go, "Oh yeah, he's doing the thing." You know, he's there.
But does that come from comfort or like 100% knowing this character? Or
oh yeah, I mean, I always say I gave up an hour of going to the gym for an hour of watching Looney Tunes. Like I've probably worn down my DVD box sets. And what's great about those old box sets, too, is that they actually came with these hidden Easter eggs of Mel later on, like past the 40s, definitely probably 60s, when they were starting to repackage these shorts, again, that were only meant to be seen once in theaters, theatrical shorts. But they were starting to package them for somewhat of, a renaissance of syndication, I guess. And you would hear him in the booth going, okay, we're going to do Speedy Gonzalez lines to be sped up at 90 RPM.
Hey, that silly pussycat, he's silly. Andale, epa, epa, yeehaw!
And then that, sped up is just Speedy. And then we're going to do the Porky Pig lines to be sped up at 45 RPM.
Hey, Bugs, we gotta go. It's the end of the show, and
so on and so forth. I listen to those religiously.
But not knowing this was going to be where you'd end up.
Who says, as anyone coming into the city that has hopes and dreams, who says they're going to be the voice of Bugs Bunny? No one ever says that. No one in their right mind ever says that.
But you are planning it. You're putting that energy out there. You're understanding it. You're knowing it until your time came.
It is weird. And then through the magic of special effects, we will show the photo of me right here in the 8th grade wearing this god-awful, ugly Bugs Bunny shirt I bought from Six Flags Magic Mountain on one of my summer vacations here. And I wore that to picture day so proudly because it was buttoned up. You know, people are like, why are you wearing a pajama top to picture day? And I'm like, this is an adult garment. You know, this is, I'm going to get buried in this. And I don't know why, but it's stuck with me this whole time. I still have that shirt too. And I was on other shows and podcasts, one that revolves around theme parks, and I brought that one up, and they were laughing so hard because it's like it's such a weird, I would have these clothes even. I made this shirt,
but that's like all manifestation.
I mean, it is, and I completely believe in that. But I never thought in a million years that that I would be lucky enough to be, I think, only the sixth person to play Bugs, and then to be awarded with it and 2 Emmys, and I dedicate them both to Mel Blanc, because if it weren't for him, I would be driving you guys home in my Uber after the show to LAX or
doing a bunch of voices on the way.
Hey, you guys got my demo back there. Yeah, it's like the worst. You like techno music? Yeah.
So you move to LA from Toronto with the hopes of doing what? Is it to be a voiceover artist ultimately?
To work ultimately in voiceover, but no one told me you had to be a good actor. I forgot the voice acting part of the whole job and career is that I never studied drama. I never studied theatrical arts. I never studied, acting. I was a technical student in production. The Centennial College Radio, Television, and Film Production. If you guys need help editing or color correcting this, I will help you free of charge.
Yeah.
If you guys need me to clean the lenses, I will.
I'm sure you're looking for things for your reel.
Oh, I'm telling you, man. You guys need new cables? I got some XLRs in the trunk.
You're a real one.
I'm telling you, man. That's what I did, and my teacher was, again, we've all been there. We went to school, had one teacher that was like the old man from Jurassic Park saying, go get him. And then the other one that was like the Harrison Ford, like, you're going to fail, at life. Get prepared, be prepared for failure. And I said, okay, I have to do this internship. And I saw a studio that was looking for interns, 1999. And
Spumco?
Spumco. It was the original studio that created the Ren and Stimpy show.
Casual.
And I was like, I know that show. I love that show, and they need help. I'm going to apply as a PA, and who knows what'll happen. And my professor was like, it's nice to dream. That's what he said. He goes, it's nice to dream. But, you're here. You're living at your folks' house. You don't have to pay rent. You're not going to be able to pay rent in L.A., and that was even in 99. Luckily, I had an aunt and an uncle out here. Never had kids. So I was that jerk nephew that crashed on their couch for like a year. They wanted to murder me. God rest his soul, Uncle Danny. Thank you for providing the roof over my head and all the friends that I made there at the studio. Years later, when I went even back home to graduate, like 2-3 years later, they would call still and go, "Are you ever coming back? They were dead serious too." And I'm like, 100% of my career I owe to perfect strangers that just, saw something or heard something and wanted to give me a shot. And that, it's incredible what luck I've had. And it's because of you kind Americans, you guys really are nice to us Canadians. Too bad we're going to have to tax the shit out of you guys now.